Hello, welcome to the stream. This time straight onto the racing track, as we have 2 minutes to go until the quali session, which is normally a single shot quali here, begins. And it's been way too long since I've driven... Where is my G-Sync? Since I've driven LMP2. Well, LMP2 around Le Mans at least. Yeah, this G-Sync, I don't know, like sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off. It's stable 138 FPS, but it's a bit like choppy. It should look fine on stream. Anyway, let me figure out where the chat window has gone. Yeah, okay. Lock up. Let that not happen in the actual quali session. Where are you? Here you are. Chat on. And FFB dies, of course. Anyway, we are functional. Hi Vandal, welcome. I see quite some people here. I think Malinowski is streaming this as well. But some quite fast names. Now I'm scared. This car has 2 mixes. Still too far forward. 52.8. Hopefully that's fine. I will not get to practice Indy King, which is unfortunate. Yeah, this is beginner, yeah, one of the 3 beginner or bronze events. I got to practice it, that's great. Was quite a moment. Oof, okay. So little fuel burn. Well, I guess I take 15 then. Yeah, that's... I remember why it's so nervous. I'm used to having 380 on the wheel range. Let's go. Hello, Joao. Somebody with stop and go already. I saw exactly the same thing in a practice server before when I went out to take some screenshots. Just thought it might be a bug, but not easy to get a stop-go for speeding and so on, since it's automatic pit limiter. It's still old True Drive. I thought maybe I can do it today on stream, but it could be boring. I just didn't feel too energetic after, well, trying to push the Peugeot for VMS Pro to the victory and failing to do so on Sunday. And then I had quite a lot of non-driving related stuff to do yesterday. I need to test it in RF2, because I think in LMU the old new software was fine, like the firmware update for the SimiCube was fine. So it was fine in LMU, but it was not fine in RF2. It got big spikes on the straights. So I'll have to take some time to check it. Feels fine in RF2. Yeah, that's okay then. Hi Mark, welcome to the stream. Yeah, about the random spikes, it was really weird. I mean, I updated what was it, half a year ago when they released the new kind of reconstruction filter, which is not really that important for high frequency FFB sims like RF2 and LMU, but it still does, like, it changes a lot. The feeling is absolutely different. Not the actual main FFB, but just like if you put it to 0, it has that weird metallic sound as if it has some metallic friction, or I don't know. More stream, good, yeah, copy. Well, today I saw that it's Imola for the WEC experience in the intermediate races, and I thought, well, maybe take the Ferrari and check how it drives, because the Ferrari beat me on Sunday. But then I thought, yeah, well, maybe I want to try something different. Then I thought of Isota, which is kind of a museum piece already, but it was somehow extremely fast, so I don't know, let's see. I'll comment on it after this. Anyway, out lap is slowly over. What's the fuel like? So yeah, indeed I took a bit too much. Mix is fine. Brake bias is fine. Well, single shot Le Mans without practice. No cut, no crash. And be fast. Let's go. Let's take the esports line. And gain 3,000s. No. Oof. Well, 2 tenths lost maybe, but no cut and still alive. What was the brake marker? Like 120-ish? So sketchy. Yeah, usually in these single shot Le Mans quali sessions with LMP2, like half of grid gets a lap time, other half crashes out. I remember doing a crash once and I was still like midfield on the grid. Track limit. Why is that a track limit? Well, better lose half a second and get a lap time at least than invalidate. But why was that a track limit? Okay, anyway, keep pushing. My face camera is still flashing, I think. I don't know how to fix it. Goes directly with the stock USB-C cable into the motherboard. I've not practiced Porsche curves at full speed yet. I remember from long ago that it's easy to snap the rear into the first apex. Ah, that was super sketchy, but it's a lap time. 1.6 of pace, but I mean, I broke in the middle of a straight there to avoid having a cut. Well, I can keep driving, right? Let's practice a bit. I guess the cuts are strict. Look at that grid, at the gaps. 4 seconds in the spread in top 8. That would be a cut as well, I think. Anyway, what was the fuel usage? 6.4. Okay. Where is my calculator? There we go. So 20 minutes times 60. Divided by... What are we gonna be doing? 36s maybe, when we get confident? 37s? So that's... what's that? 217? So yeah, 6 laps times 6.5, 40 liters. I'm gonna take just a little bit more because it's a quite a long run to the start. I'm locking both front and the rears. And the pedal force is 70. So in the end we are still P3, even with that lap. That's gonna be fun. 18 splits, wow. Hi Jonathan. The LMP2 is always good fun. It's quite broken, and I think a fix or like an update to the physics is being done. But let's see at what point it gets released. It's quite sketchy in some places for no reason. Hi Andre. Yeah, let's go. We will have a nice podium fight. Hopefully. About BMW hypercar, I think it's still good. Everybody got scared with the plus 20 kilos, but on tracks like Le Mans it's probably still fast. I mean, LMDH cars tend to be quicker if you need acceleration and top speed. But they struggle on Portimao style of tracks. Not silenced made for... Ah, phone is off. Okay, that's fine. And let's warm the brakes. And then let's survive turn 1. Three people per lap will disappear. I mean, it's gonna happen in every split, to be honest. It's a really sketchy combination. Anyway, here we go. A good launch. Send it. Orange cut, oof. Well, I had to take it. But this better be the last one. think I have to go for it. And hope Christian doesn't fight. Good choice from him. Jonathan, the LMP2, it's really stiff, right? It's sketchy over the bumps. And then like the weight transfer, like when you brake into a hairpin and try to rotate, yeah, the rear is just stiff, or the whole car is stiff, and it reacts harshly sometimes. Oh no, Indy King. This is the nice thing here, like we are not able to just fully send it, but we are all like tiptoeing around trying to survive. Sadly, check already out of the server. Even the leader took it quite easy. The esports muscle memory from Le Mans Virtual helps me here. The last two chicanes, really not easy to nail them. I cannot afford to risk extending anymore there. Gonna be very soon a drive-through for cuts. Well, Mark, yeah, exactly same here. Although if you have read Traction GG article today, there was some mention of LMVS as if it's like actually being planned. It was that news about Pimax investing in MSG. Like, what was it, 2.5 million being invested into MSG to make it survive for at least a year or so on, and it's already almost breaking even, and now it has a lot of extra resources, so it's looking really, really nice. But then there was like some two sentences of Le Mans Virtual series that's supposedly still being planned. Yeah, yes, yeah, it was Pimax, like the Traction has the article on that, so. And yeah, about the tire model updates, I really hope it's gonna be a good improvement. But let's see. Oh, that's track limit. Okay, it went green last moment. Come on, those two purple sectors. I mean, of course it was purple because I kind of... I mean, nah, it was just a good sector too. Sometimes it's purple because you outbrake yourself into Mulsanne hairpin, but this time I actually braked too early. Hi Raven. Max Verstappen of LMU registered. Understood. Oi! Yeah, that's that's the snap that sometimes happens over that weight transfer. How did I catch that? I should not have been alive now. I mean, I didn't really carry too much speed, so I had a chance, but it wasn't pleasant. Yeah, Jess, indeed, like I was happy to read what Stephen Hood had to say about the quality of the investor, and that I think it said that track limit again, copy. I think they had quite some, like a couple of options, but there were options that were looking for a quick buck with disregarding the passion for sim racing and so on, and they didn't want that, so really good to have a CEO like Stephen Hood that thinks like that. And especially the investor actually like wanting or needing sim racing to develop even more, so yeah, really good news. That was as late as the car was able to stop. Right, well, I think I have the pace, I just lack some courage. Especially after the snap into Porsche curves. Ah, Christian has binned it. RIP. Yeah, LMU, like it's gonna be beautiful. It really needs IMSA license at some point, like or maybe a couple of equivalent licenses that would bring a lot more tracks. I think car-wise we will be quite good with all the WEC selection for all the years. And there is so many cars that you can go deep into. Years worth of content or like enjoyment, I think, if you're like into learning all the different cars. But track wise we need more. If the car didn't want to kill me on those fast entries, that would be nice. Game crashed. Oh no, Christian. Well, send the traces and logs, you know. I hope the bug splatter opened. Losing 4/10 in the Porsche curves because I'm scared. Fuel is fine. gained almost a second. 8 tenths in sector 1, wow. Oh, if we got Daytona, it would be quite something. What is the front grip? But I mean, yes, as yes or Jesse says, it's a bit fun. Like even 1 year after the initial release, I mean it's early access, you know, but it's still fun. You have official World Endurance Championship game, but you cannot do endurance races. Just taking more time than ideally for sure, but at least it's working out. Like it's not about to die off anymore. It's looking really positive for the future, so that's fine. And yeah, the DLCs with early access. Tandem lockup. I liked what John Munro said in the traction video about early access and DLC. He said that it's weird, but the DLCs really don't feel like early access. Like DLCs are proper full release, so you actually get what you pay. It's all good and done, and the tracks are sublime. It's gonna be a fast lap. Two to go. I think he took a cut. 7 tenths, just not enough for a slipstream. Yeah, it's surely my favorite sim racing studio. I mean, even it's funny because people that I have raced against or raced with or were teammates in the past decade, like a couple of them actually work for studio now, so it makes me even more, well, less objective maybe in that judgment, but they are really, well, good people. They know what they are doing. So I think it's a good team, even if it's not as big as it could be. But yeah, you know. ACC has, I think, 2 times, or maybe at peak times it has like 3 times the average players per day compared to LMU, and ACC got Kunos a lot of profit, so I hope at some point LMU makes a lot of profit to MSG and to Studio 397, and then they can hire more people to develop things even more. Just cannot get close enough here. Daniela, I like LMP2. I mean, it's a tricky car, but it's good fun. And you know that if you add a bit of downforce, I started enjoying it more and more. Right, it's now or never. I need the slipstream. Ah, that was terrible. I have to take that cut. Come on, 3/10, let's go. Slipstream. Now where do I try to overtake? He's gonna come back at me. There is not a very strong slipstream here, but it is possible to overtake. I bump drafted him. I'm in the wrong side. Well, pray. Let's go. Two more chicanes. What an overtake, I didn't really expect that. I mean, that Indy King is actually more stable around the outside. Like the inside is so sketchy, you get compressed into that like dip kind of, and then you touch the curb a bit and it throws you around, so maybe it's easier around the outside, but I still didn't expect that I'm gonna get advantage there. Oof, that was a good one. Thank you, chat. Well, that was surely enjoyable to watch. Ooh, I'm almost shaking a little bit while the gloves mask the trembling bit, but a good dose of adrenaline there. I didn't know where to put my car, because here you can have so many mind games. Especially because the draft is not that strong, so you can have a good switchback, but yeah, I don't know, I tapped him a little bit, he didn't really take the curb, and then I'm behind, and I don't really have any, like, I would need to be more behind to get some slipstream, so actually, like, short shifted to 6th, to be able to stay behind a bit longer, and then I misjudged where to pull out of it, so I tapped him a bit. Lost even more, but side draft is still doing stuff. Yeah, he helped me to rotate a little bit here. And then defend, of course. And of course defend even more, just have to fully defend the inside in such situation, and we have replay gone, or server gone. Hi Fabio, yeah, there is a bit of, I mean, there is a little bit of slipstream, but it was, again, it's a funny story even from Le Mans virtual practice, when the real life drivers kept asking why have we turned off the slipstream on the server, and we were like, we didn't turn off anything. This is how the devs think it's realistic, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit better here. I think in LMVS it was even worse. Okay, well, I'm gonna take it. It's still 20 minutes to go. Let me just quickly try to reload the replay, because I want to see very quickly that last move, and maybe Indy King from the other guys on board. Yeah, it's fixed setup. We were all on wing 3. Yeah, that's gonna be a good reel for Instagram. We'll have to edit it a little bit. It was too long for a short video. Where are you? I was afraid here because I just couldn't get close enough, even with superior exit. But this worked well here. Yeah, this one was a bit, I didn't quite understand what he wants. Although I was kind of in the middle of the road. It's always difficult to judge these situations, because there is a lot of space on the right, and then the road, like, I'm kind of on the left and the trajectory is towards the outside, but I'm still in the middle of the road, so... Then I wanted to see his onboard. The car is so sketchy, like you need to fully send it here to have a chance, but it's instant death, so... Actually the left side was preferable in that case. That outside lane, like, there is a bit of... Like, this flat. This is kind of flat surface, and then the road kind of dips down. So like when you go through that transition, it can severely disrupt the balance. So he had to be very careful. And then he had to brake to avoid the cut. Hi Ivan, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. But yeah, that's how to not die and to actually win. So that was a nice race. Alright, well, let's... one more thing. Before I go into the official server, after the practice is done, I will have to register for the next beginner that will appear in 16 minutes. Until then, I'll have some laps done. Am I the only Isota at the moment? Seem to be. Anyway, join. Unable to... Am I joining now or am I not joining? I guess not. Not joining either. Maybe this one. This server joining is weird sometimes still. Is it better to use short travel brake? I mean, I have the same, if you mean the rubbers on the brake pedal, I have same for every car. I think it's just... I mean, it's easier for brain to always know what to expect, but I think you can adapt. Like after some laps, brain accepts that it's different, and then it's fine again. So I think it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to do a lap or two, you know. Maybe I need to restart the game. Well, guess we are quickly exiting to desktop. Quickly relaunching this thing. If it wants to even open, there we go. Well, that was okay. I think the mouse went over that hover across that, what's it called, like peak, the desktop peak feature. So it minimized the game momentarily. So join practice. Okay, we are joining. That's good. Serhat, I don't even like... I don't know how to show it exactly, but problem is that I need to almost go into hill climbing mode, like climb across a table and behind the sim, and like, there is so little space to adjust my brake pedal that it's absolutely unfeasible to keep changing it between cars. I would need to break my back every day to do it. So this is fixed setup here. I think I did a bit less of slip, although the rear on the Isota is really weird. Yeah, not much to click other than back to controls and calibrate and put it back to the wheel range from vehicle. As my SimCube turns off. Alright. No worries, Serhat. It would be useful if I had like a camera that I could just pull and show part of my sim rig midstream, but I cannot really do it. Like even this main face camera, well, not main, like the face camera is quite stretched when it comes to the cable length. Maybe I have 2 centimeters extra wiggle room. Right, so back to the joys of Isota. This is such a weird car, but it works really well for Imola because the front turns in exceptionally well, but the rear is very sketchy. So you get the turn in, but then you have to survive the rear. Actually, let me bring this over here so that you guys can see. Where are you now? Hope that's visible, kind of. I think it is. So it's fuel times 2 here. I've had it hidden behind my face camera for VMS Pro. LMP2 on steroids. I would potentially call it like that, yeah? Compared to Lambo, I mean, Lambo feels, I don't know, like more balanced, kind of, but at the same time there is a distinct lack of damping on the Lambo. You're just bouncing around like crazy. But then again, this is front hybrid, right? This is LMH, but Lambo is LMDH, so it has the rear-driven motor. But it really works well. I mean, the setup is a bit sketchy for a fixed setup, like feels quite e-sporty, or it rotates a lot, which I like, but let's see if I can make maybe some ARB adjustment. Now front ARB is max and rear ARB is 1, but I don't like to detach the ARBs in LMU. I did it once from the lead, and next corner I understeered off track and lost the lead, so it's really kind of last resort when you really just need the stability. But at the moment, I don't really... I mean, it would be nice to have more stability, but it's good like this. Now we need to be careful with track limits. Although this is default and VMS Pro 2 days ago was strict, so it should be a bit more lenient. Yeah, Lambo is nice, although I say that after having driven maybe 2 or 3 special events with it. I know that my old teammate David has driven it for season 1 of VMS Pro, and I don't think he's too happy to take it again, so... It's a fast car, the Lambo, for sure. About the motor maps, actually it's not as important, like it's not important for the performance, because all you need, actually let me quickly change my Okay, maybe take different colors as well when we are here. LMU. So let's see the battery. So if you don't know what motor maps are doing, they are just well, demanding more or less electric power from the battery. But as per the WEC rules, the total power output is exactly the same. So if you put more motor map, you're just using less engine, less fuel and more battery. But you're having the same power, so all that you need to do with motor maps is use them to keep battery like not go to max and not go to min. Although it's not too big of a deal if it goes to 0. But on LMDH cars you need a little bit of battery remaining for the pit lane because the motor shuts off, or the engine shuts off, so you need to box on the electric motor alone. So yeah, like I just tend to try to keep it between 30 and 70. And that is usually done by just switching the motor map every 3, 4, 5 laps. Between, let's say, I don't know, 60 and 80 or 80 and 100. Depending on track. These conditions are, I think, exactly the same as we had in VMS Pro, just it's less cloudy. Track temp is the same. Ish. So yeah, now battery is 0, it exponentially in the end slows down, but yeah, this is LMH car, so it has the hybrid on the front, and it's not a problem if you go to 0, but if I were to have it on, okay, on max, it means front regen stops working, which means less front braking power, which means effectively brake bias is very rearwards, which means that you end up in a barrier because you spin around. Yeah, look, I think this car is fine for Imola, it's really working well around here, but overall I'm not maybe not the biggest fan of it. Nice 4-wheel lockup. Santeri, yes, it's tire slip. Just for the fronts. I think it's between 4 degrees and 8 degrees. So the red is around 6. Right, so energy-wise, I'm using 6.5 per lap. Ratio, let's say 0.9. It's fuel times 2, so we will have to box. Like always in the WEC Experience Intermediate race. Now that the tires are kind of up to temp, it's really nice, the car. Just that bit of rear instability, which kind of helps to rotate, but at the same time it's tricky to handle. .1957, I think I have time for one more lap and then pit stop practice. I don't even know how quick this car was in real life. Okay, I need to be careful about the track limits. I think they are same demanding on default and on strict cut settings into turn 1. I don't really know how to put it into words, like, it has a lot of rear grip, but at the same time it's tricky with the rear. It grips more, but it slides more, I don't know. Anyway, that would have been solid 30.4 if I didn't cut. 60. Ah, that was a bit too late. Okay. Oh, maybe box practice as well. Okay. Quit. They were last or close to every race. I mean, makes sense. A small privateer. Yeah, James, that's a good point as well. I mean, like a Van Val hypercar, at least we had people like, well, Tom Dillman or Esteban Guerrieri who, I mean, at least Dillman is really, really fast in such cars. So it was a good reference. Before I join event, let me quickly jump into here and register for this one. I just don't know with which car yet. Monza. What would be fun? I haven't driven Ferrari at Monza for a long time. Ferrari it is. And now let's jump into this. Oh, Sven with the Isota as well. Oof. I'll have to deploy my esports quali tricks from Sunday, I think. If you don't know what that is, I apologize in advance, but it includes severe tire abuse on the outlap. It has taken a medium grip even, so it's gripping even less than before. Okay, let's see how this car takes some cooking. Oof, okay. Peugeot was a bit more understeering on the outlap. It's 7 minutes quali, right? So I think I can get it done with one outlap, one hot lap, and then quick escape, and another outlap and another hot lap. But I think I should be able to get temperatures up. Yeah, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easier to get temps up compared to the Peugeot. On even lower track temps, that's interesting. You know what it means? It means that the Peugeot geometry just doesn't load the tires as much as the Isota geometry. But the quali lap times won't be too quick. Anyway, I guess another pit entry practice. The Peugeot is understeer a bit, so the front can get cooked, but at the same time it just doesn't bite too much. 10-minute quali actually. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. I think this tire cooking will be fixed after some update. Oh, G-Sync is back. Nice. This really shouldn't work. But I think the sole reason why this works is that the thermal drag is not severe enough, and that it maybe doesn't really take into account much the surface of the tire, but more the inner parts, and then the abrasion wear is not really that high, and the grip loss due to abrasion is not big. Then you just really need to put temperatures into the tires, so you have like 80 plus. It's a lot simpler to put temperature into Isota tires than the Peugeot for sure. Daniela, no idea, to be honest. One last burnout. Now let's see what happens. Headlights on for the boost. Not really, anyway. Driving off the Peugeot muscle memory, but there is quite a lot more rotation here. Not enough fuel for one more lap. Ah, Swain got me. 30.0. This car is... Why is this car so fast? Anyway. Yeah, the temps of the tires, like 69, that's out of the range. Hmm. Ah, hi Joe. Well, I like the Peugeot, but I like the Peugeot for a whole season, but I like Isota for maybe one off. Yeah, the nearly it's 1 second off, but it's medium grip. And it's fixed setup, so I mean, like the Peugeot fixed setup is like easily 1 second off at Spa. Or was that the CDA fixed setup? And it doesn't feel bad, it feels good, but it's just slow. So I don't know how much I can trust this sort of fixed setup. That was a solid burnout. I use... Yeah, pumpkin, I'm thinking about it, like I thought of taking the Porsche, like I did it for Portimao previous week. But then I just quickly checked Isota and I immediately went like half a second faster, so I don't know. Maybe I should have taken this car for VMS Pro. Okay, well, tires are burnt enough. Ah, that was bad. Last two corners. Not enough fuel for another lap. Ah, less than a tenth off. We have time for one more. I have time, but tires will be cold. Oof. How can I zoom in so much? This is max forward with the camera. Would love to zoom in more, but yeah. I have like 3 seconds to spare, maybe 5. Ah, there they go. Yeah, wing is gone. I had the pace. I think Sven though is just going for yeah, he fueled up and he's just doing laps, so maybe that's the way with this auto. Again, I experienced now that it's a lot easier to get tires up to temp compared to the Peugeot. And with the Peugeot I could fuel up for 6 laps and I would still not have the temperature. But looks like with Isota you can. And Jan is still on a lap. Anyway. Refill. But yeah, look, like 29.4. That is already competitive for VMS Pro. And this is lower track rubber and lower temperatures. And you carry more fuel because it's fuel times 2. I don't know what's going on. And it's fixed setup. Like, why is this car so fast here? And yeah, he keeps going quicker and quicker because... yeah, anyway. I will have to somehow get him in the race. And if we are doing 91s, let's say, it's gonna be 20... 1 minute for pit stop. Yeah, maybe it's 27 laps. If it's 60 times 40 again, and then maybe we spend 25 for a drive-through, another 25 for fueling. If we divide that... Can we be doing quicker than 90.3 on average? No way. Ah, 26. What was the fuel usage? 6.5. Into 15. And then I need to refuel by 11. So 72 liters. Okay. The car has Max Verstappen's soul and blessing. Copy, copy. So you say that it's gonna struggle a lot. Yeah, Daniela, I don't know. But of course it depends again on the track. For sure, Imola is a special track because it really requires car that bites a lot into the ground and has very reactive front. But still good traction and a lot of rear grip, and Isota kind of does it, even though it's a bit all over the place. Anything else that I can do here? A bit rearwards brake bias maybe. 1 click. Ah! Uh-oh. Limited tires. I forgot about that. Copy. I'm in trouble. A little bit. I mean, okay, wear is not too bad, but... okay, it's not that big of a deal, I think. Anyway. Yeah, 92. It will be a bit less understeer, let's say. Interesting, Joe. Yeah, I tried only making the quota setup for it, and I failed miserably because I got out-qualified by 4/10 in that release day party some months ago. I tried to make it more stable and more balanced, but the way to drive it is to embrace its nervousness and twitchiness. Alright, Imola round 2, here we go. And if I have time, there is a special event at Imola as well on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And no Lamborghini, well, maybe next time. Here we go. Used third gear there. Interesting. Remember, it's fuel times 2, so fuel saving is OP. Oh, third gear is nice. Oh, what was that? Oh, come on. Still going straight. Well, luckily, rear wing still attached. We'll have to check the replay later. Best track for Lambo, I don't really know, to be honest. And it has quite a bit of drag, but it got good acceleration. VMS Pro, the Lambo won Interlagos. Clutch, lift and coast not changed yet, but if it was fuel times 3 I would be clutch and coasting. But it's only fuel times 2, so it's still quite a bit of time loss if there is no severe strategy fuel constraint. Feature about motor map. I change it because I need to keep my battery in the middle. Like if it goes max, I will lose the front regen and therefore front braking performance. Really shame about that Toyota ramming into my rear. I just got into good slipstream, but now I'm losing contact. Rewind indeed. Actually, I did one motor map change in Quali for a different reason, and it was for first chicane exit, because this car has front hybrid, and how to explain it best, like it's four-wheel drive because it's 190 kph activation for the motor. And that means understeer. I need more rotation, so I turned off the motor map for turn 3 kink to get more rotation, to avoid front pulling me out of corner or into gravel. So let's see Sven's lap times. He had a cut lap again. I see he stopped fuel saving. I mean, I'm not really fuel saving either, but just like slight lifting. Maybe I have damage now. I mean, I do have damage, but maybe I have a bit more drag or just less grip. Well, time to have a bit luckier traffic, right? I got all the bad luck on Sunday, maybe I will get better luck today. Looking good for now. I didn't know where the BMW wants to go. Went a second and a half with the traffic. I'll take that. Bit of an unorthodox line. Favorite song? Oof. Depends on the day. I mean, I guess I'm more of a classical music fan than most others. So let me take something crazy as an answer to your question. Let that be Samuel Barber's Agnus Dei for today. But it has to be a very good choral. Well, I mean, I don't know music terms in English, to be honest. Yeah, that's quite a different style from what you suggest here, so braking too early. Well, still setting greens. And I still cannot see Sven's lap times because he's still cutting. I'm just too early on brakes in most corners. The sight of the Toyota in the rear view is not too pleasant either. was traveling over those curbs. This car really requires higher gears. .2 by Sven. He's scary fast. Then I wonder what would be my pace if I didn't get crashed into the rear. Lock up. I don't know. The car doesn't feel too great. I mean, it was a heavy hit. In iRacing, I would be missing the whole rear end of the car. wise. Illegal overtake, of course. Why is my tiny pile suggesting me to take more fuel? It went down, what, 50? I'm gonna take 73, whatever. He lifted for the chicane, but yeah, would have to break even later to actually turn in ahead of him. Alright, Ayus, enjoy your sleep. Such a weird race now that I got crashed out of the win or victory fight. But I should be here now in P2. Unsafe release. He took one lap less fuel, or like half a lap less. Gonna be interesting. Hello George, I don't know about winning, but if I didn't have the damage, I mean, let's see later what happened in the replay. Zoltan, I have housing called sprints. Okay, what is this now? Why did he defend into last two corners? I was not even close. No rubber on the outside. Toyota man, nope. Linear profiles. But I mean, the brake rubber is very exponential itself. Like very soft immediately, but then it really ramps up with the progression of the feeling. Yeah, nice Zoltan. I mean, it's very solid pedals. Nothing too crazy, but like they just work. They are very well adjustable, hardware and software way, and they just keep working. No complaints about them for many years from me. don't know how to battle against this Toyota now. Like I don't know what he wants and what he's doing. I think it was him crashing me out as well, right? He was, okay, yeah. I don't know. I will have to make a move sooner or later anyway. I see my motor map is out of sync. It's just counting the clicks that I'm doing here, so if I click too quickly then it unsyncs. He's been previously banned. I see. I'm thinking of reporting that turn 1 thing, because that's, I mean, it's top split, you cannot just forget to brake and then absolutely ram the car ahead. So even if that's a mistake, it's you cannot just let that mistake go. He surely robbed me from a very nice fight with Sven for P1. But he's quick, so I don't know why does he need to do that. Inside Byebye. Copy. It's funny because the AI Byebye in LMU does make big dive bombs and so on, as each character in the game has different properties. Bye. Okay, I mean, 7 seconds to Sven in the lead. That Mustang was quite daring. Am I close enough? I am. And then take the default cuts line. not sure if the devs know that you can just extend so much without getting a yellow cut at Aqua Minerali. But without strict cuts, you can just keep doing it. Not that it's necessarily faster, but it's sometimes convenient. I caught some grass there. I don't know how to even check the damage, like the car is going straight, I don't think I have any extra drag. It's hard to check the top speed difference because I was always in kind of different levels of slipstream. And then many channels are locked, like downforce and so on, although maybe with Isota it's not locked. I'm gonna check Motec. Although after this race we go straight into Spa GT3. Is it Spa? No, it's Monza. Like usually when you have a little bit of damage it's nothing really. But a hit like that I got from Mainhorst into T1, it could mean some problem. Maybe with the diffuser or something. And the Isota really profits from taking all the curb there. But the Peugeot was losing time. Like on the second apex of Aqua Minerali. Is this the most realistic game? It depends. I think feeling-wise it's the most realistic. Like I've heard from many people that go from sim to real or real to sim. That like let's say David, my old teammate, that won the chance. Well, he got the Formula E car to drive at Portland in real life. He said it's basically feels like in R Factor 2. Which is the slightly older physics compared to LMU, and that I would surely be very quickly on pace if I race that in real life. But also my teammate Jesper, who has done a lot of local or regional real life racing up to GT3 speeds. I think this is his favorite sim now, although, yeah, he's not really been driving it much because he just didn't have time to do. I think the actual outcome of how cars behave on track when it comes to slip angles, maybe it's more realistic on iRacing, or maybe ACC even in some aspects. because LMU is still a bit, maybe a bit too forgiving in some cases. You can survive too big slip. Just a bit too far. But it's about the feeling, it's about the info that you get through the wheel. Because this is the only game from me, well, R Factor 2 and LMU are the only games from me where I drive from feeling. It's not about doing 1,000 laps and then go for it. I just like I do with these dailies, I don't even test. I just go out and drive according to feeling and it's fine. If I do that in iRacing, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna hit the apexes, but it's gonna be 4 seconds of pace. Just because there is zero info of what the tire is doing in the FFB. And probably many iRacers will not agree with me, but I struggle hard going into any other sim, and I struggle hard to enjoy any other sim. Just because of all the lack of details or information. But I mean, here you see that I'm doing like neutral steering out of every corner, and that's not necessarily realistic. But they are working on the tire model still, so it should be better and better, especially now that MSG received that investment from Pimax. So the future is secure. I guess I ignored the chat a little bit too much, missed some messages, but so why I choose Isota? I chose it just for fun, and I think it's decently fast. I mean, this is probably not the most competitive race in the history of sim racing, but we have Isota P1, P2. Arguably it's because the fastest two drivers are driving the Isota. But like, if we were in Vanwall or Glickenhaus, we would not be P1, P2. And about WEC, I don't think I'm watching it this weekend, because I'm gonna be all over the place when it comes to Easter celebrations with family and so on. Yeah, I'll see if there happens to be too much spare time. I might do the Imola special event on Sunday. Otherwise, more streams next week. Anyway, P2 it's gonna be across the line, and fuel is actually right on target almost. Well, GG Sven. Good race. Ooh, I have another race in 1 minute. Where is my... Ah, there it is. Nice dirt on his windshield. Maybe I have time to quickly check that bump from behind. What lap was it even? Timing. Guess it was invalidated. Maybe lap 6? Nope. Lap 3? Ah, yeah, it was already here. I mean, what should I say? Like, what is this even? Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's intentional, but that just doesn't happen. Like, you just don't do this. It was a big hit. Yeah. Just like that, the battle for P1 is destroyed. Oh dear. Join. Hopefully I get half a outlap of practice. Well, I hope it was still a good race to watch. I mean, we had kind of a different fight for P2. Why is my camera moving? I was not in the middle. Mouse steering. Okay, I cannot really comment on mouses. Wait, cannot comment on mice. It's mice, right? It's not mouses. So how does the Ferrari drive then? I think it needs a lot less TC. I think this brake bias kind of still should work, right? Far back. Hi Kiran, I'm alright. Well, I would be better if I didn't get rear-ended in the previous race, but it's fun racing. Jonathan, I'm glad. I mean, I'm having a bit of a laugh here as well. I mean, if it was bigger stake races, or if it was like a longer event, why am I not stopping the car here? If it was like a 2-hour special and I got crashed into the rear in turn 3, I would be quite mad, I suppose. Forza copy. 80,000 hours with a flight yoke. Well, I mean, I started sim racing with a joystick. It was better than keyboard. And I drove that F1 Challenge sim for well, probably a year and a half with a joystick. Oh, that's quite bright. That's quite dark now. Yeah, they need to fix this lighting transitions. It's not great. I think brake bias needs to be a bit more rearwards, but not too much. Well, speaking of handling of cars in different games, like I still remember how great those cars felt. You know, when you had SimCity 4 Deluxe Edition, and you could pave like a road into a track, and then you could actually drive the cars. Like they handled really well. No understeer. I really did like hills, and then I did the city, and then rode out of the city into the hills, and then I drove the cars around. It was with mouse, no, it was with keyboard. That's true. Like iRacing for me, it's not like too much slipping. It's not the problem that the tires are too drifty in iRacing for me. To me, the problem is that it's not about slip. It's about temperatures. And the grip is so much temperature related that, and you cannot feel the temperature, right? So you can hit the apex, but you still lose 3/10 because the temperature is wrong. So that's why I struggle. That's what I struggle the most with. For really quite an early shift point with Ferrari, right? That ABS is too aggressive. Drive real races. Well, if anybody has spare, no track limit. Okay. Well, next lap. If anybody has spare 50,000 euros, I'm happily sending you an invoice. But I mean, it's difficult to get anywhere racing-wise from Slovenia, apart from local hill climbs. We had one Slovenian in the 70s that almost got to Formula 1. He was in Formula 2. But, I mean, 50,000 would get you into Formula 1 for a race or two. 60 years ago. Yeah, Mark, maybe I can share with you if I get a bit more than 50 from somebody. No, Giacomo, no worries. I understand what you mean. Oh, that anti-cut rotated the car nicely. This setup is really nice, to be honest. Has just enough rotation, or you can like make it rotate, but it's stable. Okay, that was not enough rotation, but the purple sector too. I can gain 2-3 more tenths, I suppose. Four tenths off. Well, let's see. What if Pimax and LMU actually make a breakthrough in programming and actually somehow produce next level, next gen VR that's much easier on the eyes? I don't have the rotation anymore. Maybe the 95 Celsius is too much on the tire. No. Nah. Not today. I mean, second row at Monza. Good launch and I can be top 2 into turn 1. At Monza you can always win into turn 1, right? Right into Aquamineral... no, Variante Ascari, where I lost the most on my hot lap and then I bin it again. Okay, So I used a little bit more than 4%. Yeah, Jimmy, I try to make it as close to the LMU like appearance. And yeah, about VR, like obviously I would really look forward to trying it, although my PC would probably not handle it too well. I would need like, I mean, 3080 RTX is... it would work, but maybe not at full frame rate. What are we doing? 110 seconds per lap. That's 11 laps it's gonna be. And that's 45-ish liters. I mean, I guess I could one day just trust the in-game calculation, but one day. Gonna take 47 for now. How much time do I have? 1 minute. I don't know about, like, I think I'm being tricked into braking too hard and then I'm just way too much into ABS. So maybe I do something like this. I mean, like with BMW I remember, or with McLaren at Interlagos I needed like 75% and that was all that I needed. Alright. P5 in the end, oof. Yeah, not best, but will be fun. Yeah, Jimmy, it's slightly tricky because I think this LMU HUD has like a bit of a fade, or like it's a bit more transparent in the middle, or like it's a bit of a gradient, and that's not doable in tiny pedal, but it's close enough. Here we go. Can we win the race into turn 1? Reacted to out of line message. No jump start, luckily. Uh-oh, uh-oh. That went better than expected. I saw a gap. I started braking, but immediately the ABS activated and I was like, better just cut it all together. This is not the best now. Stop! Why can I not stop the car? If I continue, that would be a straight drive-through. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a GT3 guy. Like ABS off and I would feel the brakes, but I thought I braked at the correct time. It just didn't work. Okay, well, focus. I don't know. It's not stopping. Just doubled my silly mistakes of 2025 within 3 laps. Yeah, ABS, you have to nail ABS, like you have to be threshold. You cannot just smash it. And I think I'm doing it, but every time I press the brake pedal, it just doesn't brake. So I'm quite confused. I mean, let's put it all the way to the rear and did they kind of turn into the Aston, or what was that? He kind of stuck the nose in. I think I left the space. Yeah, I don't know, I'm really just smashing it too much, but I don't remember struggling this much with braking in a long time. Sometimes I just kind of want to turn it all off and just drive without it. I tried that offline, it felt much better, but of course it's not ideal. I killed you, then I apologize. I thought I left enough space on the inside, but I'm gonna check the replay later. Yeah, look at that, I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't get it, I don't know. Is that ABS? It just doesn't stop. I am so confused. Is the brake overheating? Yeah, I mean, I can try moving it back to the kind of default position. I thought he was gonna defend. Like, Quali was perfect, I didn't have a problem. But now I'm like, something in the brain turned off and I cannot sim race anymore. My career is over. But about ABS, I think on these tires, having it all the way to the rear with brake bias and then either 10 or 11 ABS has always worked on any car, on any track. Not necessarily the optimal values, but it did work. It was drivable. But maybe indeed there is some brake fade. I mean, yeah, okay, I'm just heavily into ABS, like full input. Of course, that's not great. About ABS, I just have so much to learn still. I have not ever driven with proper ABS system. And I keep defaulting into that problem where you like brake and then it feels like it's not stopping enough, and then the left foot just keeps pressing harder and harder even though you're telling it not to do it. Long time since I felt this clueless about how to drive a car. But I mean, that's in some way good to have always more to learn. It's not really rattling hard, like I remember with McLaren that I drove a lot at Interlagos. It was rattling like crazy into turn 1. Let's try a good break. I don't know. So I don't know how to say it, but it felt like I'm gonna just completely straight line the chicane now. But somehow it made it into the apex, and I don't know why. Anyway, top 5 is doable if I hit a drive-through, but I'm gonna get a drive-through if I do one more cut. With Daniela, that has been the case since the start. If you feel the wheel doing that, then the tires are already 100% plus on the surface. So yeah, I'm having like 99 or 100 degrees rear left, and that's purely because of ABS. You know what it feels like? It feels like as if my Huizenfeld profile has shifted or like changed to a different one with much lower brake max kilograms. It feels like that. But it's all in the head. like a P5 at least. But I mean, it's not about me going too much into ABS now. It's okay, don't get me a cut. Thank you. It's about me thinking I'm really avoiding ABS, but in fact I was just flat out into the brake pedal. I don't know. It could be also that I have not really driven the Ferrari much. Let's see if we can get before. He must have done a mistake on the previous lap. But I was braking so much harder at Imola into turn 1. Maybe I was just going to 200% or like 70 kilogram force, but I have it limited to 40. What a weird race. But of course, now that I'm braking much less, it just feels so much more natural and balanced and all the good stuff. And faster. I mean, at the same time, I shouldn't be too harsh on myself, because switching from LMH to GT3, from non-ABS hypercar to ABS GT3 is probably not a thing that can just be done in an instant. As I'm still running wide. Have I braked too much or too little now? I mean, I was never about ABS threshold braking. I was never angry about the fact of needing a threshold braking. I was angry about the fact that you need to slowly increase the brake pressure to like 90% or 85 or whatever, and that you never feel where the ABS starts. The only consequence of ABS is just tire temp increasing, and you cannot see it anywhere. You just need to learn it and see it in data later. You get absolutely no feedback about it. I mean, that's how I perceive it. Hi Pierre, yeah, this is fixed. GT3 fixed. Why do you have... Wait, what? Ah, that's energy. I was looking why I have 63% energy remaining, but I just decreased the fuel ratio to have less fuel. But I'm still overfueled by like 2 laps. I'm on the limit with cuts. Just let me survive this. I'm gonna take P5. So I honestly think if I put like 75% max brake pressure, I would be fine. So even if I aggressively panic on the brake pedal, I would not go too harsh into ABS. And I think like even with 90%, if you fully go in a straight line onto the brake pedal fully, it already activates ABS. So you cannot even ever use it, the full input. Yeah, I should have like maybe here like on the tires kind of like flashing lights for ABS. That would surely help me, or maybe on the slip angles like on the grid brows, because I mean when I'm braking it's not really telling anything about slip angle. Although when it comes to trail braking deep into corner, it could overlap with slip. I broke like 60-70% now, and the braking distance was the same as if I broke 100%. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe in the end I'm just not really a mid-engine or rear engine guy, and I just need engine on the front and then it's all good. And then I can jump in and be fast, but with this I would need a couple laps. Prep. But it's the last lap I think, anyway. I think ironically the ACC guys can adapt to this better than RF2 guys. Because in RF2 the ABS was like way too powerful. At least until 2022 or 23 when the GT3s were released on the new tires and new physics. Okay, what? What was this raid? This was so strange. My apologies for everyone I scared or murdered. Let me check if it was actually my fault there. Is it here? Maybe next lap. Is that legal? That should be illegal overtake. Maybe there is no detection. I mean here. And then it just doesn't stop. Just going straight. Oh dear. Yeah, Pierre, I did watch Baldwin's video and I fully agree with him. Like when it comes to onboards of how people brake in real life, and I mean, yeah, just the fact that we have 100% brake input. I mean, it was not that much about feeling that James was saying. It was more about the fact that we have like a threshold of 100%. So, who is at fault here? That's not on me. Is that ever on me? I was holding the gap. It was very small, but I mean the overlap was as well very small. It's not a big overlap, and then he kind of backed out of it. I thought, well, maybe I can just go slightly more to the inside. Krešimir Thank you for the sub. Or is it Kresimir? I think that's on Hannes. I mean... Like from in-car, it always feels like you're further than you actually are, right? Here it feels like you're like fully side by side, but actually it's not that big of an overlap. And like if I turned in here on him, then yeah, it would be on me, but I left space. Hannes went like back on throttle and then just understeer into me. Yeah, I'm afraid that... Oof. Okay. Yeah, I'm afraid, or at the same time I'm happy to report that I don't think I'm at fault here. Ah, poor McLaren. Oh, such... Oh, that's a creepy avatar there, but... Poor man. Ah, such an innocent victim, and then the tire was gone. Ah, poor Jamie. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I saw it all, or showed it all. Yeah, you cannot really do anything here as the McLaren. It's just such a weird moment from the Aston. Just for the lap, let's check turn 1, lap 1 again. Because that was my finest move in my whole career. I did say I will win into turn 1, right? I just checked if there's a gap. There was a gap. I almost went back to left, but then quickly reacted, back to inside, lifted, started braking. I didn't really brake that late, you know? Like, I broke earlier than top 2. Like, look at this, they brake later than me. They just, here I'm braking and they are not. Okay, I went on throttle marginally. And at this point I have 20 kph too much. Yeah, and then the car just... I mean, there was no better alternative than going back on throttle and just going off and waiting for it as the server closes down. Ah, what a silly race. Minus 3.5. Well deserved. Well, I mean, a bit of a different one, guys, right? But still, if you enjoy the stream, likes would be much appreciated, so we can convince YouTube that this is alright of a content, right? So it can push it to more people, so then we are all happy with bigger view numbers and yeah, I don't know. I mean, a rookie move would be to just keep braking and take the apex and just go straight and have P1 and P2 crash into my side, and then we all have like a big moment and all get angry with each other. And if my braking was the most rookie braking of the race, at least I avoided an incident. So give me that at least. Okay, well. We'll do better job next time. But really, like, if I check Motec just quickly. Tires, temps. Why does it go to 400? There's a big spike somewhere. Okay, let's just... it's manual scale. So this is start. I mean, it's not really... doesn't look like much ABSing. But I mean, you see, like, this is... this first part is ABS. It goes from like 60 to 66. It's not that much really, to be honest. And these temperature spikes are purely because of sending it hard into the corner and being quite sideways. I don't know. Okay, here maybe front left. No, this is from... I don't know, like the temps are not spiking that much. Whatever. But for sure what's not great is brake inputs like this. Like, what am I doing, really? Look at that. How do you call this braking input? I guess in the end, what am I doing here? Like, I just panicked. I don't know. I kept doing bad stuff. This is kind of iRacing input. Like slow increase and then bleed off. Does Motec show histogram? Yeah, you can make a histogram for sure. But I cannot promise you will learn much from that if you mean the dampers. FOV, I have 26 degrees with this 49 inch. I don't know. If I quickly load the Imola log and take some random braking zones, it's funny. Like it's two stages. I always like go full on brake and then release and then a bit less, because it looks like there is a bit of lockup happening in the middle. But again, I was smashing the brake much more, but it's a very small time on full input. Oh well, you know, just need more laps and it's gonna be fine. Well, I'm gonna call it a day at this point. Thank you guys for watching, for liking, for subbing, for bearing with me as I was going straight at Monza. Hopefully I managed to stream one more time this week, and if not, have a nice Easter celebrations or whatever you call the family celebrations if you celebrate, and have a nice week. Bye bye, see you.